Chase for Minigame here, coming at you live from SGC 2015. This is Joe Christensen again. Now, if you do not know who he is, or anything about Disastr Blastr, I have an interview covering all of that. I do not tread the same ground. Instead, I'm going to ask you some different things, like, how has the game been since then? Like, what's changed since game downs?
So mostly what's changed is a couple of like superficial changes to the game graphics. Things like enemy damage states is something players really wanted. Like, I want to see when I'm damaging an enemy and how much I'm damaging it. This was like feedback that I got a lot at game downs. So a couple of graphical changes were made. It was released on Xbox 360, Xbox Live Indie Games. It was like February of this year. So we had that release, and starting after that release, working on the PC version, basically adding an options menu for sound controls and all of the little nice bells and whistles that go with a PC game. Just released that on itch.io like last month. So it's now July, I guess it was like June, we put that on PC. So that's pretty much from then to now what we've got done.
And currently you're also trying to get on Steam.
Yes, it's on Steam Greenlight. It's been up on Greenlight for like a month, and that's been its own whole adventure. It seems to be going pretty well, so we're hopeful that see it up on Steam within, conservatively, maybe a couple of months. I really don't know, but I hope.
Yeah. Now, were you expecting Disasr Blastr to become a bigger deal than that a year ago?
You kind of have hopes that, your game will take off, and I guess I kind of didn't expect a lot. Like, I didn't expect, an intense amount of attention to it. I kind of hoped that it would take off. I really hoped it would sell a little bit more on Xbox 360 than it did. It's kind of the thing where the player base is sort of disappearing on the 360. People are moving to the One, and, who's really playing the 360 now? Well, there are some. I mean, it's getting, let's say it's getting like 1-2 downloads a day, that kind of thing. So, to answer your question, I mean, I think everybody hopes their game will take off. I didn't really have any expectations. It's my first game, so I'm like, well, I'll take what I can get.
Well, I mean, as far as like the reception of the game.
Oh, well, for the players and stuff, it's been great. Like, people have really, it's exceeded my expectations. People have been really positive about even the graphics, which are really simple.
Yeah.
Like 9 out of 10 players really like it. They're like, I really get like what you're doing here, and it looks awesome. Like, it looks clean. A kid who was like 9 years old today played it, and he goes, "It looks clean." And I'm like, dude, you get this. So yeah, the response from players and everybody has been really awesome.
What about the non-players?
Non-players,
the people
who are critics, reviewers, YouTubers. Like, most of them, I think, don't know about it yet, and I would like them to know about it. So if you're watching this and you want to review the game, you can.
Yes. Now, I also would like to jump backwards because I remember before I asked that what was your history before going to Disasr Blastr. But I would actually like to know more about the past games that you worked on. Like, what was it like being a AAA game developer?
Well, most of it was like, I was an artist, so a lot of it just involved kind of, you get an assignment from your lead. Your assignment is model this environment. You've got X number of weeks to do it, and imagine me sitting with my headphones on, jamming some metal, and like modeling environment for 3 weeks, or texturing dirt for like 6 months on MXATV. It was really specialized, and a kind of deal where from day to day you're doing like a lot of the same things. Like, if I'm texturing terrain maps for 2 straight weeks, that's all I'm doing every day for 2 weeks. Whereas being an indie, it's like, today I'm designing systems, tomorrow I'm doing graphics, the next day I'm building a website, and so it's like different every day.
What are those games exactly that you worked on?
All the games I've worked on, starting with Creative Works in 2004, we had Tin Soldiers, Alexander the Great, Tin Soldiers, Julius Caesar, Panzer Command, Operation Winterstorm, Panzer Command, Kharkov. Those were the 4 games I did with Glios. Moved out to California with Incinerator and THQ. We did Motocross vs. ATV Untamed, SpongeBob and Globs of Doom, Cars Racerama, and it was like summer of 2009 I left Incinerator. So that was like 7 games in 5 years, 6 years.
Did you ever consider playing them when they were released?
I played some of them, like the Tin Soldiers games I enjoyed playing. MSATV I really did. Like, that's a really fun game. And I wasn't really going into it as an artist, like new to the company. I wasn't really like, I had never played a MXATV game before. I was aware of the series vaguely, but I wasn't like even really knowing how to play it. Like the controls, it has a lot to do with rhythm racing and that. I had no idea about that going into it. So I really enjoyed getting to play that. Other ones I didn't as much, like the SpongeBob and Cars games. You know, I might play through once or twice. Like, yeah, it's fun. You know, that was cool. But didn't. If I had to pick a favorite, I guess I'd probably pick like the first couple games, like the Tin Soldiers, Alexander, and Caesar. Like the strategy gameplay on those, I really enjoyed, and I played them a lot after they came out.
Hey, what do you think now? Some of these franchises that you worked on, they still actually live on today, like ATV versus MTX, and of course SpongeBob. In fact, even the latest SpongeBob movie. Have you dived into the recent entries to those games or movies or any sort of media relating to the brands that you've worked on in the past?
As far as like the THQ stuff, I haven't really followed it too much. I didn't see the SpongeBob movie. I haven't. Hey, I'm being honest, man. Forgive me for not seeing SpongeBob. But no, I haven't played any of the newer ATV games or anything, so I guess I've sort of lost touch with that stuff. I mean, it was when you're part of a larger studio, it's like you're a hired gun, kind of. You're sort of hired to do a job, and it's not nearly as personal or as I guess meaningful as when it's your creation, like that you're creating as an indie. That's to me so much more I'm so much more emotionally involved with being an indie than with the stuff I've done as an artist or a designer working for THQ.
Now going back to Disasr Blastr, how was the showing at SGC so far?
It's been awesome. Like some unbelievable attention on the game today. Like the players have been super positive about it. We were here from 10 to 6 today, and there were hands on the controller the entire day. People would camp, which I kind of like to see that. People sit on a chair and camp for an hour and just die and restart, which is to me that's a very good compliment to a design. If you're willing to I'm at SGC, there's 1,000 awesome games that are all free, and I'm going to ignore all that and play Disasr Blastr. I'm wow. I had a little tear, I'm so proud of it. So yeah, it's been awesome. This is, I think, probably one of the best, if not the best show I've ever been at.
Wow. Yeah, I really enjoy SGC too. In fact, there are even some other great games that I've experienced today and yesterday. Of course, there are interviews for those games later on. This is about you. And there is also another thing I do want to touch. Where do you see Disasr Blastr post-release?
Post-release, the big thing is getting on Steam right now. So, once it's released on Steam, we're looking into doing Steam-specific things, like achievements. We talked a little bit about trading cards, leaderboards, those type of sort of Steam-specific features. I'd really like to get that going. As far as other platforms, people have asked, are you going to release a mobile? Are you going to do PSN or whatever? Those are still I don't know, kind of unanswered things. It's I'll look into it and I'll kind of see what the possibility would be, but I don't know if I can answer it right now.
And what about Linux or Mac?
Kind of same answer. I would sort of like to see that happen, but I'm new to all that, and I would need to learn what's involved and see whether that's going to be reasonable to do. But if I can do it, and it is reasonable, then I'm definitely going to look into it.
And do you plan on developing other games in the future?
I do. I have a couple other games that are in progress right now that have been side projects that I've had going for a couple of years. And I don't have a specific time frame for when this will be revealed. But yes, the answer to your question is yes. I do plan to keep designing, and I will have the next year or two. I should have some new stuff coming out.
That is exciting. And I guess you, while you're here at SGC, but you have other conventions along the line that you plan on attending, like Let's Play Gaming or...
Yep, I do plan to do Let's Play Game Expo, and I'm working on a small demo for this year's Captivate, which is down in Oslo. I don't know if it's like a thing where I have 2 weeks to do it, and if I get something to work in 2 weeks and they accept it, great. If not, I guess I didn't get there this year. But I would kind of like to get to Captivate again. I've been at the last 2, and it's fantastic. So,
what about things like Retropalooza? Because that's also coming in September.
I think it would be a good fit for Disastr Blastr. It kind of has a retro aesthetic and theme, so I think that would be pretty cool. Still not completely sure if I'm going to commit to that, but chances are decent. I think you may see it.
Right. Then you could, I think the owners of Retropalooza, they're at the show for, not really sure, but cool. I mean, the more conventions, the more the merrier.
I know Kyle from Minor P has been at Retropalooza and spoke well of it. He said it's definitely worth doing, so I'm going to consider it, and you may very well see me there.
All right, then. I guess that's it.